Today on the grid, it's How Would I Edit Your Photo Day? Some of our viewers have sent in their unedited photos, and we're going to take them all the way through from start to finish from Lightroom and Photoshop and whatever else it takes. Also, joining us today, as always, Erik, the real rocket man, the can of ham. He loves green eggs and ham. He likes his cereal to be bran. He doesn't drive a Dodge Ram, and you can find him on OnlyFans. Kuna is here. I've got some news. We've got some updates. We got a lot of images to look at. We're going to be doing some cool post-processing stuff. We've got giveaways galore, and it all starts in just 23.2 seconds. Let's go!
The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Hey-o. All right. Oh, that's some smooth jib work. I'm guessing Dobson's not here today. That's right. It's Wani on the jib. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you here. Hey, in Dobson's defense, last night we got a win in Warzone. We got a very nice win last night. So, and it was we were playing quads, and there was only 3 of us on our team. So, still got a win, and Dobson had as many wins as anybody, and we won. It was a beautiful night. Yeah. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're talking about your white balance. Today's wear your fix your freaking white balance shirt. That's right. Fix your freaking white balance.
Because we're going to be editing the photo,
we're not going to fix
the white balance. We're going to fix because that's just part of the process.
It will be proper white balance or artistic or something. Yes. All right, lots of just real quick news to get us going. First off, I had planned on announcing my Norway workshop today, but it's sold out. It sold out before I got to make the public announcement or even to let our VIPs know. It's completely sold out. So I'm looking forward to it. We got a great group of folks, and we're going to be in Lofoten. That's where we're going to be with Mimo, and I'm very excited about it. We got a great group of folks, and it's going to be awesome. However, I do want to tell you this. Mr. Kuna and I are planning a workshop. We're not going to announce it yet, but I can tell you the date so you can pencil it in. It is, what is it, October?
Well,
it ends on the 1st.
Have we locked it down yet? It's the last week of October.
Last week of October, and I think it ends on November 1st, Friday, November 1st.
Yeah, something around there.
So mark your calendars for that date. Now, here's why I'm telling you about it now, even though we're not disclosing the location or the details, because we got a great location. It is going to be a killer workshop, and you're going to want to go, and you're going to want to be on the early notice list, because that's who filled out the rest of this workshop. So, 2 things. First, go to scottkelbyworkshops.com and go all the way to the bottom of the page and sign up for the early notice workshop.
Like the
go all the way to the bottom. There it is,
right there.
Advanced notice workshop. So those folks found out, and that's why it's all full, because they found out before the public finds out. Now, if you want to go to Norway, even though it's sold out, we do have a waiting list. And there's been a couple of different occasions where someone had to cancel it, a death in the family or something, and we've had a spot open up. So if you really think, I really want to go, if a spot opens up, go and get on the waiting list for Norway and get on the mailing list for what Erik and I are going to be doing in last week of October. And then, of course, next year we're going to have more workshops, and so you'll want to know about those.
Yeah, this idea we got is pretty sweet.
Oh, it's pretty sweet.
I think it's not like anything else that
and it's going to fill up fast. So get on that waiting list, or get on that newsletter list. All right. Also, you guys know I'm doing a workshop in Antarctica next year. And it's next February, so it's February of 2025. Well, they are running a sale right now. There's $500 off. There it is. It's the summer sale, so you can go get it now. Now, it's good up until July 7th, so go now. But we got to look at all these pros that are going to be on this tour. Look, there's Richard Burnaby, and it's going to be great. And I'm in there somewhere. There we go. All right, so it's with the Munch Workshops. They run a very, very super high-end professional style workshop, and there's great instructors. There's a whole bunch of them, and it's a really unique bucket list experience.
And tell them Scott sent you.
Tell them I sent you, yeah. And then I will see you there, because we're all going to be there, and I'll be teaching, and I'll be one of the workshops, and I'll be hanging out and shooting with you. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here's a little video clip about it you can see.
That's like the bucket list of bucket lists.
But $500 is $500. Go get it right now. So, and let me know if you're going. Let me know, because I'd love to know, and we can chat and stuff before we go, because there's lots of logistics and stuff. But all right, there's that. What else have we got? Tomorrow night I am flying to London, and I'm going to be shooting the Shuttleworth Air Show with Lady St. Clair, and Dr. T.
How's the weather looking?
I don't know. I'm going either way. My flight's booked. I'm either going to be shooting an air show or hanging out somewhere in England. But anyway, I'm leaving tomorrow night and there's actually now a direct flight, Tampa-London. Been waiting for that flight British Airways had it for a while.
Yeah, but it goes in, you're talking about the one on Virgin, right?
I'm doing that. Yeah, well, it's Delta. I booked it through Delta, but Delta puts you on Virgin because they're code sharing. So I'm flying on Virgin. Take us for all we've got. I'm flying them tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. And Eric's checking the weather, and he's going to tell me it's going to be...
I think you're going to be good.
Ooh, he says we're going to be good. Oh, I hope so. So, and Eric knows his weather.
It's going to be a little cloudy.
Oh, I want it to be a little cloudy.
You don't want it to be clear.
No, I want it to be a little cloudy.
And I like it to be a little humid. Get the vapes.
I want a little bit to be... I don't know how humid it's going to be in the UK.
It's not going to be as humid as here. But
no, but anyway, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. Always nice to see Lady St. Clair. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So, and I'm home Sunday. I'm like, boom, over there, and then boom, I'm back. Okay, there's that. What else is there? Okay, I found something pretty cool. You ready for this?
Right. What is it?
When I go through TSA, when I'm traveling, which is quite a bit, I always have to take off my belt.
Right. We've talked about this before. We've talked about this.
I found a TSA-approved belt. The belt doesn't have metal in it, so it doesn't set off your detector. I'm wearing it right now. It's fantastic. But it's like a super hard plastic. I mean, it feels like metal, but it's not. It's plastic, and it has the consistency of metal. It doesn't feel like metal to the touch. But anyway, I found it on Amazon. It was relatively inexpensive. And son of a gun if I'm wearing it, and I expect to not be taking it off at the airport for the first time in like 2 years. So,
yeah. I hear you. It's little things.
Yep, and I went to Amazon and I think typed in TSA safe belt. And it came up and said won't set off the metal detectors or whatever. And there's no way it can. It's like plastic. All right.
What else we got?
I think that's all I got.
The other thing, if you came to the On One or the
On One Landscape
Conference last week. The replays are up for that.
So good.
Everybody can go watch the replays. That was a great conference. That's why we didn't have a grid last week. So
that's why there was no grid. But we're glad to be back today. Of course, we have lots of giveaways.
Yes, we do. We're going to give away 2 of your books. We're going to give away the How Do I Do That in Photoshop book. You can get that over on Amazon, but somebody's going to win that today. And something else you can get on Amazon, the Photoshop for Digital Photographers book. You're going to win that as well. So somebody's going to win the How Do I Do That in Photoshop. One's going to win the Photoshop Digital Photographer's book. And then we're also going to give away...
Hey, did you see that book is the #1 bestseller in computer graphics? Did you notice that? #1?
What? And then we're going to be giving away a Platypod grip. This is a great attachment to put your phone on a tripod or a Platypod or anything that you want to mount it on.
Yeah, this is quite good.
Yes. And then a copy of On One No Noise 2024 is going to one lucky viewer. This is a great tool for reducing noise and then adding back that sharpening that gets lost with that noise reduction. So it does both. And then we're going to give away a copy of Retouch for Me's Skin Tone app. These are great plugins for Photoshop.
Oh, these are so good.
If you're into retouching, if you're into anything with portraits and retouching.
But guys, this is for serious retouching.
It really is.
This is like pro level AI retouching. This isn't like, oh, I'm a consumer and there's things
you're not
going
to have like
$60.
Like it does have a one-click kind of thing, but it's really designed for the people that want to click, get really close, and then kind of like tweak it.
Yeah, this is like pro level stuff.
Yeah.
This is like I make my living as a retoucher, and this is just going to speed my work.
Yep. And then everybody can get a discount on it, though. You can get 20% off by using the code Kelby120. That's KLBYONE20.
Yes.
And they have to go to promo.retouch4me to enter that code. Then we're going to give away a V-flat from V-Flat World. This is for U.S. shipping only, so you have to have a U.S. shipping address. We're going to be sending somebody a V-Flat. Now, everybody can get 10% off the V-Flats by using the code KELBY10. That's KELBY10 at checkout for 10% off over at V-Flat World. And then Slick Pick is giving away a complimentary 1-year classic gallery plan. Now, this is for new customers only. But everybody can get a discount as well on SlickPick by going over to slickpick.com/Kelby1. And all you're going to do to enter the contest, just go on any chat that you're on. We're monitoring on all the networks and all the places we're streaming, and just tell us what you'd like to win. And then also leave a comment on, where you're from, just any questions you might have.
Any comments,
anything.
Questions, whatever you like.
Yep.
All right. Are we ready to dive in?
Yes, let's dive in.
So
we're
today
editing
is,
photos.
how would I edit your photos? We asked people to send in either a raw image or an unedited JPEG, and we'll just take them through the paces and see what we got. Here's our first one. And I think this one is, first off, I think it's a very good photo. We talk a lot about peak moment of action and all this, and that's what we're talking about. So starts off with a great photo, which is half the battle, right? You start off with a great photo.
Ball.
You see the ball. You can see that's got to be the catcher. No, who's the catcher, right?
Well, this is the first baseman.
Oh, that first base? Okay, yeah. No,
it
you're
looks
right.
like a first
Sorry.
baseman glove.
First baseman, sorry. You see the first baseman catching the ball, and the guy sliding. There's a lot of good stuff. This has to be he was trying to steal a base.
I think that's checking him back on first.
Yeah,
because he's checking back.
Right, he was off, and the pitcher threw the... Yeah, okay. So, here's what's going on. First off, it's crooked. let's start there. So let's click here, and then...
Which, if we're being honest...
Who
Most
cares?
Sports shots are.
Yeah. More sport because you're trying to capture. Your job is to capture the action. You're not on a tripod taking all day.
It's the same with everything action.
All right, so I'm just going to hit the letter A and straighten it. So I went to the crop tool here. We're in Camera Raw, which is the same as Lightroom's develop module, exactly the same. And I'm going to go and just hit A, and you can see that. Watch, it just straightens it out. It was just a little crooked, but I think more than that, what we have is. The worst thing is empty seats. Yeah. You don't want to see empty seats. And plus, all the action's right here. So what I would do is, let's lock the perspective, or the, what do you call it, aspect ratio. Now, if I bring it here, right, we see still seats. So if I have a choice, I'm going to see very little empty seat and a lot of grass. So I'm going to go like here.
Yeah. Maybe. Where like the seats, it could be like a building, not necessarily seats.
Something like that. I know that we did the auto straighten. Does it still look? It looks a little tiny.
Well, if you look at the fence back there, the fence is actually slanted up to begin with.
I'm gonna just move it
like the pads
tiny
are slanted. So
all right.
It's fooling your eye.
And then it probably is. I'm just gonna hit auto to give us a starting place. And that auto did pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I want to talk about auto for a second because auto is using AI. It's not the old auto. It's not your parents' auto that we used to click and it overexposed everything. It actually does a pretty good job of giving you a solid starting place. So hit auto, see what it does. If you don't like it, you can just hit undo.
No, Scott, and I don't know we've ever talked about this, and I don't know if you do this, but do you? Because I do this. I automatically apply upon import a preset that does auto for me. Do you do that?
No, because I don't always hit auto.
I do. I just hit auto all the time.
Yeah, it does quite a good job.
I do that on import so I don't have to hit auto.
All right, next, what I would do, I want to see the ump is actually an important part of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the masking tool. Now, if I hit select subject, it's going to give me the two players and probably him. Let's just see for fun.
See.
Let's just see. Yeah, exactly what I thought. Undo. Well, I can't really undo.
I wonder if people would even,
No, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go create mask, and I'm going to choose the select objects tool. And when I choose that, I'm going to choose the option, and I always leave it this option, this square. I don't want to paint over stuff.
Right.
I've only had to use the paintbrush one time.
Yeah, you're just going to draw a box over what you want.
And I'm going to draw a box over him. Done. All right, that's the easy way to do it. And now I can bring up the exposure on him a little bit, maybe open up the shadows just a tiny bit. He's wearing a black shirt, and I don't want it to get all lost in there. Okay. All right, so this is looking pretty good. Next thing I would do is this. I would go down here to lens blur. Let's turn on apply and give it a second. It has to take a second to, let's see what it did. Here's before. I'm not doing much of anything.
No.
Let's go to 100. Hold on, we're going to fix this. Don't worry. 100.
Yep.
Virtually nothing. You know why? It's got to be the focus range. This little range here.
Yeah,
Click right in the middle and just move it until you see that. Now look at it. Are you seeing this, guys?
Yeah,
Are you seeing the background? You look in the stands. I
like to use that visualized depth thing personally.
Oh, you can do that too.
Because then it shows me like what's in focus and what
what's
isn't
not.
in that range, and then I can collapse the range down to exactly what I want.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good here. I just want to make sure it was getting the edge of his, but that looks pretty good. And I've got that up. So now look at the difference here. See the stands?
Yeah.
Look at the stands
You just
back
got
there.
an upgrade.
We just
You
upgraded our
you
lens.
went from a 5.6 to like a 4.
Yeah, or
Or
2.8.
Yeah.
All right. And other than that, I think it looks pretty good. Now, I would go in here to effects, and I would increase the texture so you get like not lots of detail in the dirt and maybe just a tiny bit of clarity, because the dirt and the grass, you don't want to go too far with the grass. It'll look crunchy and weird. But I think that all looks pretty good. But the finishing touch would be, let's go ahead and open this. Then, let me open this all the way. Then, let's go and filter. You can go to topaz, or you can go to on ones, no noise, and choose the text sharp. But I'm going to go in here. Now, it uses AI to determine what kind of sharpening. But for a sports photo, I don't want standard sharpening. I would actually go to the standard model and change it to motion blur, very blurry, and watch. Woo! Did you see that on his helmet? Yeah, look at that. Look at his tattoo here, and the hairs on his arm. But the tattoo looks a little blurry. Look at the ball.
Yeah.
Look at the detail in there, man. I don't know if you can see that depending on what screen you're on, but it's night and day. And then we apply it, and I think that looks pretty nice. Let me duplicate this. So you can see that's the finished image. Let's close the original and don't save the changes, and let's reopen it. Let me just go reopen it. And we'll set this back to the default. So there's where we opened it. So this is the original photo, and then there's our finished image. Yeah. So you're tight in on the action. You've blurred the background so you don't even really notice it very much. And you've just set the toning up a little bit. You brought the ref out. I meant the ref, the umpire out a little bit.
It's a great moment. You captured a great moment.
Nailed the shot. So nice job to the photographer. Well done. All right, we're off and running.
Because that's half the thing with sports, is capturing the moment of action.
Oh, yeah. All right, let me go grab another image here. Give me just one sec. Let's open up this one. This looks like Lisbon. I'm thinking that's Lisbon.
Mm-hmm. It looks like it.
And
looks
I'm
like
going
the bridge
to start off with going and hitting auto and straightening it out.
Yep.
And then you've got like a little lens hood, I think, up here, what you're getting. And that's not, there's not much happening in the sky there. I would just get rid of it. Maybe even a little this too. You want to keep some foreground, but I think something maybe in there might be.
Yeah.
Something like that. Just tighten up on that. And then let's go to, I would definitely switch from Adobe Color to Adobe Landscape as my raw processing. For most images, I would do that. I would do it to just make sure that the colors pop a little better. I wouldn't do it for the sports image, but and just maybe sports and portrait not. But ooh, did you see that?
Yeah.
Just that little extra pop just from switching from watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's Adobe Color. Looks kind of bland, and this one just gooses it a bit. All right, you know what? We're actually ready for a break. I'm going to leave it right there. We're not going to touch anything. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll pick up right where we left, and we haven't done much yet, so we're in good shape. We'll see you after the break. Don't go away. We got more of editing this particular photo.
Ooh,
Hey everybody, Erik Kuna here, and I'm here with another class on creative techniques for airshow photography. This is going to build off of if you've just taken a basics class, you've gone to air shows, you've got the basics down. We're going to go through these techniques that you can do to take your shots from just having a frozen plane or just having some prop blur to adding motion to your frame, putting intersecting objects with your frame. We're going to go through things about lowering our shutter speed, raising our shutter speed, using stuff in the foreground, using stuff in the background, different angles that we're going to shoot, taking our shots from just good, sharp shots to creative shots like this. So join me over in my class over on Kelby1.com, all about creative airshow photography techniques.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Hey, we're back, Scott and Erik, and we're doing
Editing photos.
how would I edit your photo, and we got a beautiful one here.
So we're picking
And-
up the Portugal one.
Yep, this looks like Portugal, and we're just going to go hit auto to get us started. And I think the auto did a pretty good job. It's just I think it's a little bright.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring down the exposure and raise the contrast. Ooh, that's just starting to look pretty sweet. Now, here comes an interesting question. What do we do with the color? Now, that is the as shot that it's more colorful because we added contrast and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But we could go.
Yeah, now we're going to get creative.
We could get creative and move I'm moving the blue slider over here, maybe the magenta slider over there. Look at that color. So that looks pretty nice. You know why? Because you're keeping the reds over here and you still got some oranges, and now you kind of get the purple and maybe
Kind of
even
has like
raise
a sunset and a twilight vibe
all in one. So I kind of like that.
Which that actually naturally does happen when it's so dense clouds on that horizon.
I got to tell you, I still think it's a tad crooked. Okay. All right. Maybe that's a little better. Okay. And now you could, I guess, bring out this if you wanted, this foreground. I guess you could go here, go to the masking tool, get the brush, brighten it up a little bit, hang on, and just kind of, if you wanted to bring this out, I don't think that's going to do it. We need to go to shadows. Maybe just a hint of it, so it's not just a black blob. And this is looking pretty good. You could, I guess, if you wanted to, go here and add a linear gradient. Darken the very top of that sky just a bit. Like that. And maybe add a little blue into it. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. Now we got the purple and the blue. Ooh, I'm thinking we're having a happening shot here.
It's a blue hour sunset.
And I think we're looking pretty good. Let's look at a before and after. And we didn't do a lot to it. I mean, we straightened it and cropped it a little bit. We
added the punch. You opened up the shadows.
We did the Adobe landscape, and we hit the auto button, and we did open up the shadows on the foreground rocks. The rest of it is really the color taking over. Really, I mean, it was really the color. And I think it's a beautiful shot. And who did? Oh, Diane Arnold. We know Diane.
Hey, Diane.
Nice shot, Diane.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
Oh yeah, no, it's just a little bit of post, and you got a killer shot there.
I wonder if Nando took you there.
I wonder if Fernando. Let's see. How about this one? Now this is kind of an interesting shot. But I'll tell you what makes it interesting to me, of course, is the full moon lighting up those clouds right in the middle.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what's not interesting to me. This stuff up here. This balcony and stuff. So here's what
we can come in tight.
I think here's what I would do. I think I would get the crop tool and I would probably just get rid. Well, I don't want to do that. Hold on.
Just change the aspect. Yeah,
No, I'm going to hit the letter X to flip it, and I'm going to go about like in here-ish.
Yeah.
Because really, what makes this shot so interesting is that full moon and that
it brought the moon closer to you, like,
with all this stuff.
Yeah, that way you felt like the moon is filling more of the frame.
Okay, now here's what we're going to do to make this baby rock. First off, let's go see. It's not a raw photo, so I can't switch it to.
That's just a phone
landscape.
photo. That's a phone photo.
Oh, is it? Nice. All right, we'll hit auto. All right, now I think that made it a little too bright, so I'm going to bring down the exposure. After all, it is night. But here's a good trick. I'm going to increase the contrast a little bit. But the good trick is this, the whites. The whites control like the brilliance of the photo. It controls the lights, like these lights, like watch. See how it brings up the lights? So I would really crank the whites. Right now, this over here, this is getting a little maybe too bright.
Yeah, the whites is like the city light slider.
Yeah, the city light slider. Now, here's what you could do. You could go and add a mask to this right side just to darken this area. So you could go to linear gradient. You could make it a little darker and drag this way, other way. There we go. Like that. Now, I made it too dark, but I just want to pull that restaurant part back a little bit. There we go, something like that. And then also maybe under effects, let's add a little bit of a vignette to kind of darken the outside edges. There we go, that kind of helped as well. How about we add a little, let's go to clarity and a lot of texture. Because you got neon and the clarity would look good with that. The only thing about this, like balance-wise, is it just seems a little dark in here. I think I might go to the masking tool. Let's get the brush and let's just brush in a little bit of brightness. Go to the exposure and let's just brighten this in a little bit over here because it just kind of looks out of place with everything else is so bright and punchy. Now this is kind of a sloppy job, but you get the idea.
I get the point, yeah.
Get what I'm trying to do. And this building over here is getting kind of lost. Let's bring it out. And what's with this thing here? This light is not happening.
Well, and is there something else we can do in removing that security
camera?
camera?
We're going to get rid of that too in just 1 second. But here I want to do something. Let's do this.
Yeah, light it up.
Let's go to create a new mask. Let's go to the brush tool. Let's make it bright. And let's make it yellow.
Yep. Light it up.
And then let's hit it right in the middle. Now that's a bit too much. So let's make the brush size smaller. Oh, I didn't have to undo all of that, did I? All right, back to the brush. The brightness was probably okay. The brush was too large. The yellow was okay, maybe a little more orange. And then make the brush a lot smaller. And maybe just one click inside would kind of get you there. And that's not perfect, but
you need a little bit more.
And then, do I need more yellow?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I think you put in the purple now. Think too much.
Well, it was
purple got
pink.
in there.
It was pink.
Yeah.
So let me go back to that mask here. That's this mask here. More yellow and.
I think you need more punch.
It's
a little bit.
Well, let's go to the highlights and see.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, and it's spilling out a little bit over here. Let me just hold the Option key and just get rid of that spill.
Yep.
Now, there is a tool. It's a plugin for Luminar.
Yep.
That turns on lights, but we won't go use that. But I will get the erase tool.
But I think that really helped.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to turn on Use Generative AI. So this is using Photoshop's Generative AI to regenerate what we erased because the removal tools in Lightroom are kind of crappy. And so I'm going to paint over this security camera. I'm going to hit Apply, and we're going to wait a few seconds while it does its thing.
Let's see. Oh, yeah.
There you go. It did a lovely job. Look. And then you can see how we kind of repainted with the light. We'll put them side by side. Now, this is after the crop, right?
Yes.
And then we're not done yet. But
Because the crop really helps.
Yeah. The crop, I think, helped a lot. Let's go ahead and open this. And then let's go to sharpen it.
And you got to remember, you're working on a cell phone photo that's in JPEG. So all the people that are like, you can't edit on that, like, you're working on a cell phone photo in JPEG.
Yep. One other thing I might do. Now, that really made it crunchy.
It
Woo.
did.
All right, let me undo that.
I think it was too much.
Well, let me just go see. Did I have the auto turned on or did I have it turned off? Oh, yeah, it was set to motion blur, very blurry. I think just normal would be fine. That was a little too crunchy. All right, and now, if you feel like it's a little too crunchy, what you could do is, well, first, before I do the uncrunchiness, I'm going to duplicate the layer. I'm going to go to multiply mode. Don't judge me. Hang on. And then I'm going to dial in a little darker overall look here. Trying to find out where it still looks like night. Somewhere in there. All right, somewhere in there I think the neon looks better. And the last step is to go to On One's Effects 2024. And wait for it. It says it's opening photo raw, but it's actually opening effects within it. And the one I want to choose...
Uh-oh. Update. Running an update.
Well, while we're running the update, Mr. Kuna will give us some shout-outs.
Yeah, we got people joining us all over. We got Herb saying hi from Aloha from Maui. Aloha. And then Natalie saying, hello, Scott, Eric, Christina, Juan, Grid Crew. I've missed the Grid Loyal... I have missed the Grid and the Grid Loyal followers. Love the shirt. Loves the shirt.
Thank you.
And
Thank you,
all set
Natalie.
for a great day here for a cloudy, but at least not rainy Ottawa. So, and then Vivi is joining us from Central Valley, California. Judah saying hi from a sunny Medicine Hat, Alberta. Susan saying hi from Columbus, Ohio. Larry H saying greetings from a hot Nebraska.
Hey, Susan's going to Norway.
Nice.
Let's go.
And then Nicole saying hi from all the way from Clearwater. And then Deb saying hi from Long Beach, California. Then Tom S. saying hi from Dusseldorf, Germany. So we got people joining all over the world.
So back
All right, so
to
we're
our
back to
story.
effects.
I'm in On One Effects, and I would go right over here and say Add Filter. And the one I would choose is called Glow. It just kind of will take the heat off here, and it will choose Normal Glow. And you can see, watch how it just takes the heat off. So if it was looking a little too crunchy, and then you've got an overall opacity. So if you think it's a little too much, you can just dial it something in. Ooh, about right there. Mm-hmm. And I think that would do it. All right, now let me duplicate this. Oh, and this is from Jerry. All right, and let me go here. And let's revert to the original image. I don't think that is the original image. I think that is the image after we opened it.
Yeah,
all right, give me 1 sec. Hang on, I got to go find it, the original. And then we're going to say...
Yeah, reset
to default. All right, so here's the original. So there's the original, and there's our finished version. I might have gone a little too far, I think I went overboard on the contrast. I think it's a little too...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would probably redo it and lighten that up a bit. Hey, one more thing you could do. You could duplicate the layer and straighten these buildings out a little if you wanted, and then pull it back up so it doesn't look...
I know. The only problem is now you're losing the bourbon how... I really liked where you could see the curve.
But you know what it means.
Yeah, I know, but I liked it.
You don't lose a lot of it. And it's your choice of what it looks like. But I think if I was critiquing somebody else's photo here, I would say you went too far with the contrast.
Yeah.
So I would redo it. I would redo everything I did, but I wouldn't move the contrast slider as far because I'm not happy with how that came out. When I finally got to the end, I think it's over contrasted. Yeah. Which, you know what? Anytime I over contrast, it makes me want to take a break.
Yep.
So let's do that. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we got more of your photos. We got giveaways coming up. And just more mirth and merriment. I don't even know what that means.
everyone, Rick Salmon here. I'm really excited to tell you about my latest class on Kelby One, Capturing the Great Outdoors. Now, like my 45 other classes here on Kelby One, this class is packed with information, it's packed with photos, and it's also packed with some cool videos that I made up here in Alaska, and it's my 4th trip here. So in this class, I cover a ton of topics, including photographing birds in flight, one of the hardest challenges for any photographer. Landscape photography, where one of the goals is to put the viewer of the photograph in the scene. Basic wildlife photography tips so you don't miss a shot when you have an amazing wildlife encounter. Camera gear, the equipment that will help you tell the story of your adventure. Camera settings, what you need to know in order to get the best quality, the very best quality images. Lens settings, I told you it was packed with information. Lens settings, which can make the difference between an outtake and a keeper. Telling the story with photos and videos, which is a ton of fun for you, your friends, and your followers. There's more. Basic image processing, where you could turn a flat shot, like this photograph of a small iceberg, into a fab shot that you'll be happy to hang on your wall. At the end of the class, I'll share with you a slideshow of some of my favorite great outdoor photographs that I've taken in other spectacular locations around the planet. These photographs illustrate what I call photo cross training, which means what you learn in one location, you can apply to another. So, my friends, I really hope you can join me for my latest class only on kelby1.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Hey, we're back, Scott and Eric, and we're looking at some photos. And
we got a wildlife photo here.
Got a wildlife photo here from Greg. And so, unfortunately, the leopard here just kind of blends in with the background.
Lost.
He's really
Of course,
well camouflaged, right?
That's the technique, right? That's why they are like that.
But if I asked you, what's this photo about? If I asked Greg, what's this photo about? He'd go, it's about the stick on the right. It's about this tree on the left. No, it's about the leopard. So I would crop way in tight on the leopard.
Right.
I would get in like way in like this, maybe even a tad tighter. Because I think you have a dynamic photo here.
Yeah, it's right in there.
Let me just kind of move over just a hair. There we go. Yeah, now.
That's the photo.
So the unfortunate thing is it's backlit and it's very bright back there. So let's just go see. Let's hit the masking and just see. Well, you know, before we get to that, let's stop. Hold on. Let me go back to let's just hit edit and see where we are. And we can also go to Adobe Landscape. And you know what? I don't think I like the color as well. I think the color looked a little better here in this particular one. Now we can go and maybe raise the contrast a little. Now I'm scared to use contrast because I did so poorly on the last one. But
well, you'll have more latitude. This is a raw file.
Yeah, this is raw. The other one was like an iPhone JPEG.
Yeah.
So let's go, and I think what I want to do is bring the leopard out. So let's go select subject. The subject is not actually that empty area. Thank you.
Well, the sky's so bright it fooled the software.
All right, so let's get rid of that mask.
The AI failed.
That's okay. It happens. Let's go to
Select
objects.
Yeah.
Easy enough. All right. I think I want to make him a little brighter, or her, and add a little more contrast. And I don't want to make it look artificial, so I got to be careful.
Yeah, you do. That's where when you're doing that stuff, it's little
I
micro
know,
adjustments.
like,
it's not much.
Yeah, I'm like, I'd almost rather open up the shadows look too. Yeah.
No.
Hey,
Yeah,
no, whoa. I wonder if maybe going the other way. No, because I was thinking maybe we make him darker.
What you could do is then darken. If you darken the sky now, it might offset.
Yeah, we're gonna. Well, I'm gonna darken the whole background.
Yeah, darken the whole
Let's just see.
background, yeah.
Here's what's gonna happen. Watch. If I choose select background, it's gonna select everything. Look at that.
Yeah.
So let's go subtract subject. No, it's gonna subtract
no.
that stupid area over there. Okay,
I think you're gonna
subtract.
have to do select sky.
Select
or
object. Subtract
object.
and we'll just say subtract him. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but now
So,
you need that sky back.
oh, crud. Okay. So
So try add sky. See what happens.
add.
Or add subject.
I'll just brush it in. Why am I trying to outsmart it? Let's just. All right, so I added it back in by painting with the brush.
Yep.
All right. Now I would think maybe darkening the background a little bit would help.
Yeah.
You got to be careful though, because I don't want to make it look like the tiger's pasted in afterwards. Let's go or the leopard. Sorry. Let's go hit the select sky, and then lower that a little bit. I don't want it to look gray,
Maybe add some
but
blue to it.
I was going to go add a little blue. All right. All right, and then let's try this.
Now I think the tiger, the leopard's a little bright.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the leopard.
Yeah.
Was it this one?
Yeah.
And then what we'll because we don't have to make it brighter to draw the eye, but we could make it sharper. So we could go in here and do texture and clarity.
What about lens blur, too?
I don't know. They look close to the same plane. I mean, I can try it. Let's try it.
Well, it's going to be for those leaves in the background.
Yeah.
Maybe the leaves in the foreground. But I don't know.
We'll try it. We'll try it.
Yeah, that's pretty crappy. Because it has it wrong, too. It has that front branch as a background element.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just bail on that.
I'm bailing.
Bail on that.
Bailing. All right, I bailed it. I was going to go and add a pretty significant vignette.
Ooh, that's helping. That's really helping.
So we're kind of in there. And if we could put some kind of like a creative profile on here, I think that might pull it all together. Let's go down here to artistic. Let's see if we can find a profile that pulls it all together.
That's not bad. That one.
That one right there?
That one's
Or
not bad
this
either.
one?
I like that one too.
It's kind of bluish. Let's go down here to, let's look at the modern. You got to look on my screen. Don't look on the big screen because that thing's a little thrown. That one's not bad.
Yeah,
Modern
not
03.
bad. I like that one.
Yeah, that one looks pretty good. Still a little worried about the leopard being too bright.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then go drop a little topaz on it. And I'll put the sharpen model back on so it determines. Oh, yeah, look at that nice sharpness. Woo! Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Look at the eyes over here and the whiskers.
Uh-huh.
That did a nice job.
So Chase has got an interesting question here. Can you comment on how you approach the picture to edit it?
Yeah,
Do you look for
I can tell you. No, I can tell you exactly
yeah.
what it is. What it is, Chase. When I look at the photo, I ask myself, what do I wish were different? Mm-hmm. So let me go get the original. Let me just duplicate this. Which
I think that's
I'm
an important question that people struggle with. Is
Yes.
like, how do I see that?
All right, let me revert this. Oh, crud, I'm going to have to go actually. Hold on.
You got to go back.
I'm going to have to go all the way
photo.
back. All right, give me 1 second. Let me go here, and let's go to revert to the original.
And then, okay, yeah, there we go. Let's just
All right.
look at that.
All right, so
Now.
here's the original. So when I look at it, I ask myself these questions. And it's a great question you're asking, there, Chase. I go, what do I wish were different? And I don't say that it looks better. I got to figure out what do I wish were different. I wish there wasn't this ugly branch to the right. I wish I could see the leopard better. I wish it was tighter in on the leopard.
Yep.
I wish the color was warmer. I wish the sky wasn't so bright and blown out. I wish there was some color in the sky, like a little bit of blue.
And then you wanted the separation between the leopard and the background.
Yeah, I'm not going to get much separation between the leopard and the background.
But that's why you were adding the brightness to the leopard and the darkness
Oh,
to
I'm
the
trying to get
background.
separation, but I'm not going to do it through blur.
No.
To do it.
You're separating through the color.
I just the leopard just blends into that tree so well. And if you had asked me if I was going to start over, Chase, I think what I would do now that I've tried it and I'm not really happy with the results is instead of trying to make the leopard bright, because I think the leopard looks too bright, I would try to work with the color, and I might change the color of the background to make it contrast with the
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it just looks too bright to me. I think at this point, I would have to go back in.
But you could also do select object and just take it down again.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go grab object. I'm going to select him.
And that's what happens. We walk away from a photo, and then we're like, wait a minute, we went too far.
Pull back the highlights a little. There we go.
And there you go. Yeah, now it's good.
Helped. And
that's much better.
I almost wonder if not dropping some blacks in there now.
Yeah.
I wonder, because you know what it is? I think the problem is the color of the tree and the color of the leopard are the same.
Yes.
What if I could change the color of the tree? So these are the questions that I'm asking myself. And I do and Chase is asking, do I do the same order of operations each time? Pretty much.
And you're just doing different techniques.
And when you're looking at somebody else's picture, do you approach it different than your own? No, I pretty much do it the same way. But I want to see if I can get this looking a little better. Let's go back to create a new one. Let's do select background, and we know that subtract object will do the job, right? Now, can we go in here and change the color of the background enough that it makes a difference? So that's making it greener. It's not really helping that much. Making it yellower, no.
I mean, it helps.
A little. I was hoping for more of a brown tone. What if I desaturated it a bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's helping,
But you know what it looks? I'm looking on my screen versus the screen in the studio. It looks pretty good, but the actual picture on my screen does not.
Yeah. Well, no, I think you've just gone a little too far on your screen.
Yeah. I think we went too far here.
Yeah, kind of just meet it in the middle.
Maybe somewhere in there, and then maybe desaturate. Yeah, I'm just trying to make him drop in, and it might. What might help? It's going to sound crazy. Is an even bigger vignette. To really, I just saw one today in my feed, and it was a tiger, but it was close in, and they had done. I'll show you what they had done. Let me just give you an example. I thought it looked pretty good in this particular instance. What if we did a radial gradient, and I went just over him, her, whatever, and I did invert. So what I do is going to affect the background, not her, and to bring her out. It was really dark what I saw. It was just a little bit like you could barely It was more like that. And of course, it was a tiger, and the colors were more popping. Greg's asking, and this is Greg's photo, so we take Greg right to the top.
Right.
What about sky replacement? I thought about just replacing the sky to get rid of that distraction, but it might come across as fake. This image is a tough edit. Yes, Greg. Hey, it's a good shot though, and I think you could work this and get there. I'm not happy with what I've done, but let's do this. Let me go to the masking.
Doing the stuff that you did really helped.
It did help to some extent. I'm just not happy with what I did here. But let's try this. We could try sky replacement if it works. Let's go to edit, sky replacement. I don't know if it's going to see it as the sky. Let's see. Yeah, it did. But what I would think here to keep it from looking fake is to desaturate it. Maybe lower the brightness. And you really can't desaturate it here like I'd like to.
You could once you apply it.
Yeah, I'm going to apply it, and then we'll just flatten it, and then I'll go select sky, and then go to hue and saturation and desaturate it. Something like that. Well, that doesn't look bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I think Greg for the win right there.
Yeah, I think you're onto something.
Yeah, I think just, I'm surprised it did such a good job at determining without a horizon line what the sky was. But yeah, I think something like that, and maybe not as severe of a, like, he looks too, I just want to start over.
But that we both.
Hey,
I'm sure we both
I've done
do
this
that
many times.
Many times. You edit, and then you're like, "Wait a minute, I got to start over."
So what's weird is I'm looking at the one in the studio.
Yeah,
like
the
on
one up
studio
there
monitor looks good, but the one on my screen.
And the problem is, we know that's actually accurate. Yeah.
So, but that one up there, the cat is desaturated. It's all desaturated. What if I
just desaturate
desaturate the whole picture?
Yeah, just desaturate it. Yeah, it's better.
It's better. I think what you have to do is do select subject and hope it does. Well, wait, there's an object select tool in Photoshop. And deselect him. I mean, desaturate him.
Yeah.
All right. It's getting close.
Yeah, and now it looks better on your screen, but it looks really bad on
Yeah.
there.
I don't know what screen you're seeing. It doesn't look really bad on there, is it?
Well, it's not really bad, but it's totally different.
All right.
It's
But
totally
yeah, it was a tough edit.
We need a color accurate monitor for these. shows.
Yes, we do. Anyway, this is not my proudest edit, I will say. I will certainly say.
Well, but go to the original. Go to the original.
Okay, hang on. The original
It's
is
just, I think, the tab over. Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the original and where you came.
Yeah, it's better,
like,
but I
that's
think
better.
But I think Greg would have done that on his own. I think he would have got pretty close. But I think getting in close is a big part of it.
Yep.
But you know what? I always say, when you have an embarrassing edit, go to commercial. What?
All right, let's
that
take
right?
it. Let's go to commercial.
Let's go to commercial.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boy, that was a missed opportunity in the control room.
Yeah, it was.
He counted it down and
I
everything.
counted you.
We know who looking like this for real. We know who looking like that. We know who looking like this for real. We know who looking like that.
My name is Rami Kazemi, and I'm an award-winning landscape photographer currently residing in Canada. Now, I have traveled the world and seen some of the most beautiful landscapes on this planet. I've acquired a signature look and a lot of techniques when it comes to post-processing throughout my photography career that has landed me where I am. These techniques are very, very essential. If you've ever wondered how does he do that, then this class is for you. Because I'm going to include all of the essential techniques that I've learned. These techniques have proven to be rock solid over the years. We're going to replace the sky, basics of luminosity masking, how to use luminosity masking to target your adjustments, color adjustments, dodging and burning, and a lot of other essential techniques that you need in your workflow. Believe me when I tell you that this is going to be all you need to take your landscapes to the next level. So wait no longer and come and join me on my latest class at kelby1.com.
I am a portrait and wedding photographer based in Valencia, Spain.
I do mainly commercial and editorial photography, and I retouch up to 100 photos a month.
We shoot almost every day for all kinds of clients, such as commercial, beauty, and fashion. And we retouch our work more often, like every other day.
I used to spend over 1 hour for one photo.
If we want professional results, we must remove skin blemishes, do micro dodge and burn, highlight eyes, whiten teeth, and even reduce wrinkles in clothes. And this can easily take me up to 2 hours of work for each photo.
So when I saw that there's a plugin for Photoshop that helps you retouch quicker, I was eager to get my hands on it.
I read many feedbacks about it, and I found a lot of positive reviews, which made me to consider buying my first plugin.
One of the challenges we have at the end of a session or wedding is to achieve an edition in our photograph that look natural. This is where retouch for me has become a game changer.
I love the feature that you can pick how much effect it has on your photo, and you can adjust it accordingly to your style.
I saved a lot of time and always end up having amazing result with my work.
I am extremely happy with the quality.
Now I am more efficient and have more time to spare with my family.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
And
we're back, and we don't have much time left in this episode, but we are going to be giving away some stuff in a second, so just hang on. Let's take a look at this one. Looks like an iPhone photo taken with an iPhone 12 Pro, according to the XF data. And here's what I would say. When I look at this,
can I say it? It's obvious.
There's a gate, right, that we want out of there.
Yeah.
But I can remove it in Photoshop. There's lots of ways to get rid of it. Yep. You know what another way would have been to get rid of it, Helen? Take 3 steps forward.
Walk up
to the gate, and then there's no gate in your photo.
Unless
you wanted the gate.
I think he wanted the gate, but I don't know what the gate's doing to add to it.
I think the gate is taking away. I think what you came down here was to shoot a lighthouse. So now the photo looks processed because your phone processed it, right? And so it already kind of looks like it's processed, but
which is going to. It's a JPEG. It's
right.
going to
So
process it.
I would certainly get rid of this. I mean, that would be job one. Now you can do this in a number of ways. Let's do the object select tool and just see if it'll get that. All right, yes, and then let's expand it by 20. Go modify, expand by 20 pixels. And then you can just go...
Why are you expanding it by 20?
Thank you for asking, Eric. By expanding it by 20 pixels, it makes generative fill work better so we can see what's around it. So go to generative fill and just click generate.
Yeah, without that 20 pixels, it'll look weird. It'll look like there's just line. You'll actually still see the fence.
Yeah, so if you expand out by 20 pixels, usually it'll help a lot. All right, let's see what we got.
It didn't catch all the poles, but
look at that.
It's still pretty good.
That's pretty good. And now you could just
crazy.
I know, you could use your regular selection tool for these last 3 and do one more. Just go generative fill right down here. Go generative fill.
Get
and
our
hit
buddy Phil.
Generate. Now, this is for Adobe. Why, if I want to erase it and I'm not going to write anything, do I have to hit generative fill and then generate? Why can't I just hit generate? Who knows? Let's take a look.
Some engineer wrote it and didn't think through that part.
Did the internet go down? What happened here?
Oh, Phil's taking a while.
Come on, Phil.
Phil's having a problem.
Really? I'm surprised it just stopped.
It's going to come back like, you can't remove this.
There we go. There we go. All right, there's a fence over. I would get rid of this while we're here. And let's get rid of this ugly branch coming in over the side while we're at it. And we got, you got a telephone pole.
Gotta go.
You got another telephone pole.
Gotta go.
And just hit generate one more time. We're almost there. Let's hope that generate goes a little. It usually takes about 12 seconds is kind of like the average time. That last one took like 30 seconds, but let's hope this one goes a little quicker.
There's a lot of people using Phil right now.
Yeah, that could be it. A lot of people filling. There we go. And then you could actually go and use, you could use, there's a plugin that'll get rid of the power lines, but you can also just get the healing brush, because the healing brush in, I'm just going to flatten that, in Photoshop is fantastic. The one in Lightroom is crap. And let's go back here, get rid of those.
How are you drawing those straight lines there?
Thank you for asking, Eric. I'm holding the shift key. I click once, I shift, and click again. Draws a straight line between the two.
Such a time saver.
Yep. And then there's a little ink thing there. And I think that's the main stuff, was just kind of cleaning it up. The photo's already
Is the horizon line crooked?
The horizon line is crooked, Eric. Thank you for noticing. So we could go to the crop tool, and there actually is a straighten tool. And what you do is you drag it along the horizon line, and it will move. It'll show you right now it's 1.9 degrees off. Mm-hmm. And then when you let go, it's 1.9 degrees straight, except for I don't think it is straight.
Yeah, I think now it's a little
Let me duplicate the layer, and we'll just do it manually.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes you can just do this, bring down a ruler, press Command R to make the rulers visible and make sure that that's pretty straight.
Yeah, that's straight.
And then I hide the one behind it so you can see where you need to crop in here. Let's just crop in a little from the center, holding Shift Option, and it crops from the center. And I think you got to look a nice leading line.
Yeah.
Leads you right to the smorgasbord there. And you got a little cleanup here. There's just some ugly, like this weed sticking up. But this is work for the healing brush, to just get rid of this and this, and just look at the photo. I try to look at the photo. This is going back to the question he asked earlier. A gentleman asked Chris, I think it was Chris?
Jason.
No.
Chase.
Thank you. Not Chris, Chase. And I asked myself, what's catching my eye when I look at this? Like, if there's something that catches my eye that I think this shouldn't be there, like whatever that is, then I take it out. These little thingies here. This is catching my eye. I don't want to see anything really distracting me from getting on this road and going to the lighthouse.
Yeah, there's another one right there. That catches me right there.
Right over here?
No.
Over here?
Right there.
Yeah, I'm not doing a stellar job here, which I think is the theme of my day. But there we go. That's, I think, certainly better. Just getting rid of the distracting stuff. But the photo is kind of already processed. All right. How did you get rid of that guide without going to the menu? All right. Somebody asked. Here's what you do.
Shortcut.
All right. So you press Command R, and then you pull out a guide from here. When you move your cursor over the guide, you see how the double arrow comes back up? I just dragged it up to the top.
Yeah.
So drag it from the ruler, and to get rid of it, drag it up to the top. So there you go. All righty. We're going to do this. We have one more photo we're going to look at, but Eric is going to go ahead and do the giveaways. We've got lots of giveaways today.
Yes. So we've got the How Do I Do That in Photoshop book is going to Julia Winter-Moyer. And then the Photoshop for Digital Photographers book is going to Claudia Baldacera. And then we've got the Platypod grip going to Paulo Karen Stone. And then we've got the V flat going to Phil King. Then On One No Noise 2024 going to Cindy Dillingham. And then we've got Retouch for Me Skin Tone going to John Supko. And then the Slick Pick 1 year Casa Gallery plan is going to Good Morning from Washington. Nice
How do
name.
they get their prizes?
Well, that's pretty easy. All you got to do is email us over at gridprize@kelby1.com. We'll verify your information, and then we'll send you out your prize. Just please try to do that by this Friday.
All right, here's the last photo we're doing for today,
All
and a nice looking photo from Joe. And it looks like looks like Hawaii to me, but it could be lots of places. But I'm going to guess Hawaii. So step one, I would switch it to Adobe Landscape. Ooh, look at that! Even just that made a difference. And then let's go ahead and hit let's go to the crop tool and hit auto under geometry. It still looks a little crooked. I don't think geometry's doing a great job today. There we go. Oh no.
Yeah, that was too far.
That's too far. That better? You know what it is?
One of those days.
No, I know what it is. It's not geometry. What we need to do is go to the optics. We need to turn on the profile corrections, and then we need to go to distortion and pull a little of the distortion out. Maybe to right there. To flatten it out. Then when you rotate it, it'll be right. And I'll use the rotation slider here to just get it. I'm looking at the little grid guide there. Looks about right there. There we go. That looks nice and straight. Okay, let's go back up to light and let's hit the auto button. That's not bad. The sky looks a little light, right? So let's go to that. Let's go to mask the sky. Let's click on the masking tool, hit sky, and then we can just lower the exposure a bit. And when I do this, I will usually go and raise the white so the clouds don't look like rain clouds. That looks better. I want a little more maybe detail over there. So going back to Chase's question, it was Chase, right?
Yes.
Was
what are you looking for there?
When I first started off, I knew it was crooked, so I wish it wasn't crooked. I wish the sky looked better. I wish the foreground wasn't just a bunch of shadows. I wish I could see some detail in those trees. I wish the overall color was better. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. So now I'm just going to use these tools to figure out.
Yeah, because if we're being that's a raw file. When you look at it, usually in a dynamic scene where you've got a bright sky and the foreground, that's how your raw file is going to look,
Yeah. So I'm going to add a little contrast to the sky. And this isn't looking too bad. I would say this. I think compositionally maybe I would come in a little maybe like that, because those trees over there were kind of meh. But I might go get the masking tool and choose that object tool, which I love that tool. Select objects, and I want to select all of these trees. And then just kind of open up the shadows a little, just so you can see them a little better. Something in there, maybe not quite that much. And the whole image looks like, for the time of day it is, looks a little bright, I'm going to think. So I might go and lower the exposure a little bit. Somewhere in there. And I think what would help this a lot is a little vignette. Kind of bring it in there. And you know what else would make this look more interesting? Is to add some dabs of light. So go in here to the create mask, get a brush, make it a nice big brush. Make sure your feather and your flow and all that are all the way to 100. And just do some little light hits just to make the light look more interesting. Maybe my brush might be a tad too big. Hit some of the highlights in the trees. And maybe on this rock over here. And then maybe add some contrast to those. So look at what that does, this last little mask. Watch. See how it just kind of adds a little more interesting light?
Yeah.
I'm going to open it.
Little
dapples of light. And I'm just going to I'm going to try the multiply trick, which is to duplicate the layer, go to multiply, and then lower it until it looks good. Maybe somewhere in there, just as a little darker.
Nice.
That's not bad. And let's go look at the original. Let me duplicate this one. Not apply image. Oi. Duplicate image. Let's go back to this one. And can we do revert? No, it's just going to take it back to what we opened it. All right, give me a sec. Because I'm going to open the original by going
reset that one.
Reset it to its default. So there's the original, and there's the copy.
Oh, they didn't see the original.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was too quick.
Original?
Yep.
And then there's our edited one. I'm not very happy with the vignetting up there. It's a little too dark. I might adjust that. I think I'm second guessing all of my edits today.
Yeah.
Not my.
It's just one of those days.
Not my best editing day, I would say. I started off strong too. Started off strong.
Yeah, that sports shot
with the sports shot, and then the bridge shot, and it went downhill from there. Oh. All right, well, folks, that wraps up another disappointing episode of the Grid. I thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, so what's up? Am I here next week? Yes, I am. What's our topic next week? We don't know. Do we have any guests next week?
I don't know.
We don't know.
We have little knowing at this point.
There's not much.
I think we're kind of over this episode.
Yeah, I think this episode we need to stick a fork in it. Thanks to our crew here. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to all of you for enduring this editing fiasco. And we will catch you maybe.
Oh, but I do think, circling all back, the win out of this episode was that question, where it is you've got to look at your photos and say, what do I wish was? That's what editing is all about. Like, what do I wish that I could bring into this photo? That, like, with this, you had a bright sky, you've got a dark foreground. That's going to happen with landscape photography at that time of day. We've got to do something to it. So now we have to wish things in post to make it what you want. So I think that was a win.
Erik reaches into the depths of despair and pulls out a win.
That was a win.
I think that's our cue to go to lunch. All right, everybody, have a good one. We'll see you next week on The Grid, and please enjoy this smooth camera movement from a non-Dobson controlled, from the master of the jib.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, out.